All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, welcome back to another episode of Patch Notes. So, before we get into Patch Notes, I gotta talk about this. I just got off work. Well, not just got off work. I got off work at almost 4 hours ago. And since then, I've traveled home, gone to the gym, came back, showered, cooked food, and here I am. Ironically enough, this is sometimes quicker than I usually post patch notes when I was unemployed and doing nothing. But regardless, I'm like physically and mentally exhausted. I have my dinner next to me. I'm waiting for it to cool down, but I'm pretty much starved, both water and food wise. And I have about an hour left before I have to go to bed to get 8 hours of sleep. But let's be honest, I'm not doing that. So, apologies if this one is a little rushed or even lower quality than the other ones, although I don't know if that's even possible. But regardless, we're going to go over the patch notes. But I'm going to attempt to speed it up a little bit. So anyway, we cordially invite you to an exquisite green tie debonair affair to celebrate the end of the year. Oh joy. My end of the year is terrible because of this job that I don't know how to feel about. But anyway, hopefully for League it'll be good. We're keeping it classy this week with a sophisticated champion. Wait, what? Item rune and dragon updates to keep the preseason running splendidly. Ultimate Spellbook is also getting a spiffy update, which there's no reason to play for me without tokens. And Aaron players, worry not, we have some swanky news for you too. So get your flashiest outfits ready to greet the new year and its glitz and glam. It'll be just grand. You know, ironically enough, excuse me, I have to wear a suit every day for this job. And sometimes I'd be looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, damn, you know, I could be a debonair too. But anyway, debonair dress code too strict for you. Head over to Okay, we don't care about TFT. Fuck TFT. So yeah, everything here I'll go over below. So let's see. Caitlyn. Oh mama. So they gave her a ASU. So now let's see what they're doing. Hopefully they don't buff her, because I don't want her getting buffed. Headshot resets partially restored. What? Several attack resets on Caitlyn's headshots were removed during her ASU. These resets were notoriously difficult to maneuver and were not part of Caitlyn's original design. Technically, her headshots executed as abilities rather than empowered basic attacks, which is what allowed the bugged reset functionality. It wasn't sustainable or healthy even to keep her passive as is, so instead refactoring her headshot reset in a way that looks smoother and is easier to pull off. Is this a buff? I'm confused. When Kayle targets an enemy marked by her W, Yordle Snap Trap, or E 90 caliber net, her headshot partially resets, firing faster than a normal basic. Oh, it probably felt shitty. Bug fix. Fix the bug where Kayle was able to headshot enemies while being revived. What? I'm a little confused. I saw some wacky clip of Caitlyn like headshotting almost every other auto or some shit. I forgot who it was by. I think it was by Doublelift or something, or maybe it was on Reddit. But something was definitely up with this. I don't know if this is a nerf per se, but I mean, hey, if it comes out faster than autos, I mean, than your regular autos, I mean, I guess that's good. I guess that's a buff. But we'll take a rain check on that one, or maybe not, because I'm barely playing any games as is. So the time will tell in the future. Anyway, Camille. So, after playing with Jalik for a while, Jalik being new to League and all, when he goes against Camille, Camille looks like the most broken champion in the game. So my vision is now skewed to her needing to get a nerf. So what are they doing? Camille is a bit too mobile for the damage she dishes out, so we're limiting we're limiting access to her ODM gear dashes. Is that an Attack on Titan reference? We're also nerfing her trading tool so that she doesn't get such a free advantage in lane. Yeah, that was up a lot. So W damage decrease, E cooldown increased late. Wait, what? Her trading tool. I thought that was her passive. Wait, what? So the W is going down by 1%, is getting a worse scaling. Okay. I didn't really feel like the W was that big of a deal in fights when fighting Camille, though, but okay. I guess it's her poke, but yeah, I mean trading tool, whatever. And then her E hook shot is going up by 2 seconds. So I actually agree with that. I feel like Camille is one of the safest laners in top because once she engages and once she has some points in E, or I mean, you know, she maxes E second. or she has cooldown, like E just becomes a non-factor, and when you gank her, it's like, unless you see her immediately use E at the start, it doesn't matter, because she'll have E up again and she'll just run away from you, unless you know how to play around it, which is very difficult. So I think the E nerf is probably the biggest thing and the best thing they could do right now. But again, my vision is a little skewed because of Jaylick, but pretty decent nerf. Ivern. I haven't really seen Ivern aside from Hunter. And in my opinion, Ivern is sort of weak. I don't think Ivern is that good. But, I mean, he's a support jungler. Supports can't be that good anyway, because then they'll overbuff their teammates too early into the game. But anyway, I'm not expecting to see a nerf here. There's no way they're nerfing him. So what are they doing? Krug experience and gold rewards increased. Ivern loves all his forest friends equally, but when push comes to shove, freeing the Krugs isn't really worth the effort. What? So his passive for just Krugs is going way up in the experience field and way up in the gold field. That's almost a triple amount increase. In fact, for the experience, I think it's more than triple. My god. 1821. Yeah, it's more than triple. Wow. So, huge Ivern buffs if you do Krugs, which is really good. I mean, it'll not necessarily help us clear, but it'll help him get more items fast. Well, yeah, I guess technically. More items faster and more experience. So, more levels faster. Pretty good. I mean, slight change, but a really good change. Really big. Supposedly. Kayle. So, what do I think of Kayle? I think Kayle isn't really what Riot wanted. I think she's really weird. Every time I try and play Kayle, I mean, everyone knows you're a non-champion until you get ranged, and that's fine. But once you get ranged, I feel like you still are just an annoying fly until maybe 11. And then 11 you get the waves, which is good. It helps you wave clear, but at that point you're either team fighting or you're already feeding. And if you're not ahead, you kind of just have to farm out more. Kayle is just farming simulator until the enemy is stupid or you get like 16. So I think she could use a buff, honestly. I really like the fantasy of Kayle, just not how that's executed because you don't get to live the fantasy very often. So let's see what they're doing. It has to be a buff. Passive wave distance now scales with bonus attack range. What? After reaching level 11, if Kayle has enough stacks, her basic attack will launch waves of fire. Okay, and damage enemies they pass through. The distance these wave travels used to be a flat number. Now it scales with her bonus attack range, which can be extended by other effects such as her passive at level 16. Or lethal tempo. No way, so when you autoed, if your attack range was bigger, the wave didn't used to go to your extended attack range? That's shitty. This should be counted as a bug fix, honestly. It's a buff, but this should have been the case in the beginning. The distance of waves launched by Kayle's basics while she is Aflame and Exalted or Transcendent now scales with her bonus attack range. That is crazy that it didn't do that before. That's a pretty secret, like, OP buff. Pretty good. It basically means you land your waves more consistently. Really nice. So Kled, I haven't seen much of Kled at all, actually. There's no way he's getting nerfed, he's probably getting buffed. I have to speed through these, it's already 10 o'clock. Now the hour starts. Kled and Scarlet's health calculations changed. Why? E cooldown reduced, AD ratio increased. Tank Kled has been optimal for a while now because of the massive bonus HP he gets from Scarlet. Adjusting how his health is calculated to make his playstyle healthier and more interesting, they better be buffing damage. However, this will nerf some of his bruiser build, so we're buffing his damage and cooldowns to compensate. We'll keep an eye on the Cantankerous duo after this. Alright, let's see. So Scarlet base health is going up. I don't understand, okay. Scarlet's base health now counts towards Kled's base health, not Kled's bonus health. Okay, so you probably get less of a effect from bonus health counting items. Okay, that's fine. All your bonus health are belong to Scarlet. Any items that Kled purchases will add to Scarlet's health and count as bonus health. Damn, not Kled's? Oh shit. While unmounting Kled will check whether Scarlet's courage has been restored twice as often, reducing the time it takes for them to reunite when at max courage. I did notice that. I did notice sometimes you were at max courage and like it was like a second or two before you actually got on Scarlet, which could lead to you dying even at max courage. It wasn't instant. This is a pretty good buff. And then Kled now spawns with full health. Huh? What was it not like that? I'm so confused. I guess all around the board, pretty good. Let's see, Z. So, jousting. So, they shaved off 1 second. Not too big a deal, but pretty good. And then damage ratio 60 to 65%. I mean, you don't really count on the E for damage, per se, although it does have a good ratio. I don't play enough Kled to honestly know how big these changes are. I mean, 5% is 5%, right? But the fact that it's 65% bonus AD... I mean, it's pretty good, I guess, and it is a movement ability. It's even lower than Camille's shit, so once you slap on some cooldown, I mean, it's not as long as Camille's shit, but it's definitely lower cooldown than her stuff, so, I mean, I don't know, I think it's okay. It's not bad. But I'm not a cut player, so I don't know. Okay, Twitch. So, what do I think of Twitch? I think Twitch is an interesting spot. I haven't played him that much or at all with the new lethal. I feel like that's what you would go on him. Either that or maybe PTA, maybe. I feel like no AD at this point should go Fleet Footwork except if you're Jhin. But even then, it's like a big if. But yeah, it's either lethal or PTA, and PTA is honestly, if you want better laning pressure, I'd say lethal is better for late game, probably. But in general, just looking at Twitch on his own, what do I think of Twitch? In general, Twitch on his own, I would say is pretty okay. He's obviously one of the better carries late. It's just his early kind of sucks. But then again, most ADs do. But I think he's a little below the pack. I think they need to buff something about his early. I feel like his late game is fine. He has the fantasy of just wiping the entire team if he's in the back enough and if he gets a good position. It's like a similar thing to MF. If you have a good position on MF, you basically carry the team fight. It's the same thing with Twitch. It's just, in my opinion, a little harder. But not as obvious. So, I think Twitch is kind of the worst MF. You kind of play him for his team fight, but that's not all he's good at, unlike MF. I feel like MF is kind of also just good at the team fight, but Twitch actually hurts with his autos as well, so. Yeah. A slightly shittier MF that needs a buff for early game. So let's see. Our bolt distance now scales with bonus attack range. Wow. All that talking just for that. When Twitch uses his ult, his basic attacks become bolts that travel slightly farther than his attack range and deal damage to enemies in a straight path, similar to Kayle. The distance also used to be a flat number and will now scale. Oh, so once you ulted, it never changed. Oh, now it does. The extra distance that Twitch's bolts travel now scale with his bonus attack range, which is pretty good. So, not a bad buff, but I mean, pretty weenie. Doesn't really change his problems, just helps him using the rune that he might use, which is lethal. So anyway, Samira. R no longer costs mana. Thank God. I don't know why it did in the first place. Few things feel worse than running out of mana for Samira's ult after getting all her passive stacks ready. Yeah, especially since they nerfed everything fucking else, too. But, yeah, I mean, this should have been in from the launch. I don't know why this was even here. Like, if you're not going to have a cooldown on the ult, why have mana? It's so stupid. It was designed to control her wave clip, but since that hasn't really been a problem, it became perfect to bring her back. I mean, when you ult early, it doesn't even clear the whole wave, if we're being honest. But hey, really good change. Now I can ult the wave without fear of losing mana, so that's good. Really does nothing for her, though. Except, in the fringe situations where you lose mana and you can't use it in a team fight, that would fucking suck, but this is remedied by that. But I mean, late game, you didn't really lose mana, especially if you brought Presence of Mind. But anyway, on to Urgot. I think Urgot just needs a buff. I don't know why he's weak. I just feel like he's weak. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Messaging for later. So passive and W attacks now scale with bonus attack range. Just in case you wanted to run lethal on Urgot, it's probably still not a good idea, but they're gonna let you do it anyway. Urgot's passive shotgun now scales, so they're just updating for lethal. I really don't know what that means, but whatever. Archangels. What do I think of Archangels? Again, I've barely played League because there's been no event. I've played here and there to play with Jalik, but, excuse me, not too much. So I don't know a lot about Archangels. I mean, I think it's a very bland item. They kind of took its identity away. It's kind of just a stat stick now. It used to have the mana shield, which was pretty good, and it's known as one of the better scaling AP items. It's just, right now, it's just super boring. It's really like they slapped on a rise passive of oh yeah, the more AP you have, the more mana you get. And you scale off mana. And that's it. It's literally just a damage item with no other, like, properties. It's really boring. So what are they doing? Total cost equally reduced. Archangel stuff supports, so we're lowering its cost to help. From 950 to 550. So they're nerfing the gold cost by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 400 gold? That's actually insane. Holy shit. But I do think the tier items should be really cheap, because by the time you stack tier, sometimes, like, you're building into another item anyway. So the quicker you get the upgrade for Archangels, like, the better. Like, I think it's really good. I think this is good. Axiom Arc. This stupid item is Nocturne's Wet Dream. I said they were going to nerf it, and lo and behold, they're nerfing it. And I said they should nerf it to 20%, and look, they nerfed it to 20%. The fact that you can kill 3 people and have 75% off your ult, and by that time, some time has already passed since you killed or used it, it's like you're going to have it always up. You're going to use it at least twice in a team fight if you're not dead. It's ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. This nerf is well-deserved. I don't think they should nerf it past this, though, to keep the item fun, because I do feel like this item fun, but before it was just, like, constant Nocturne ult. It was ridiculous. So this is good. This is a good nerf. We'll see how it feels after, but I think this should be enough. Cosmic Drive. I haven't seen or used this item because I've barely played. And I don't think it's that obtrusive because I haven't seen it. But again, I have barely played, so let's see what they're doing. They're nerfing it. I guess it was too OP. I don't really like this is the worst thing I think they added into League. And there's one really bad example of this. And it's decaying speed, right? Decaying speed. I can understand it having it on some things, but I feel like it's on way more things than it needs to be. And the one thing they need to remove it off of is Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank's W giving you decaying speed after feels so shitty. And if they remove that, I feel like Blitzcrank would actually be used again. I fucking wish they did that. Just like how I wish they reverted A-Soul's W to be a toggle again. But Riot doesn't want to listen to us and make their champions playable. So, oh well. Even though they're going to nerf everything else about the kit as well to make them unplayable. But whatever. Yeah, so Cosmic Drive getting nerfed. I guess it was too OP. Cool. Crown of the Shattered Queen. This item is fucking annoying. It's annoying to go against. Every time someone has had this, first of all, I didn't even know they had it sometimes, that it was on. And I attack them and I'm like, why am I doing no damage? And then they just, like, kill me because they're a mage. I'm like, okay, so not only can I do no damage to them, I just die. So I think it's overperforming for the fantasy it gives of, oh yeah, you could survive a burst from an assassin, but you can also burst, you know, me back, but I'm an AD player, so I mean, it kind of makes sense. I'm a little biased. But anyway, they have to nerf this thing. There's no way. Crown of the Shattered Queen is another new mage item that has been doing too well in most champions. Okay, well. And considering it's supposed to be a more defensive mythic option, it shouldn't be fucking infuriating me. So they're lowering its AP by 10. I would have rather they hit the passive, honestly, but whatever. I actually would rather it be up more often, but have less, what is it called? Protections that it gives you. Like, you can take more damage when the passive is up. Yo, enough with the resident sleepers. You don't like it, you can leave. You take more damage when the passive is up, but the passive is up more often. Like, make it a 30 to 10 second cooldown. But make the passive instead, what is it, 50% or 45%? Make it like 40 or 35% damage reduction when it's up. I think that's fair. And I think that'd be a lot more reasonable to play against when you're against it. Anyway, even Shroud. I haven't really seen this item too much, but again, I haven't played. But I mean, hey, it sounds good. The fact that they took out the damage stacking on Abyssal Mask, though, kind of made me undervalue this item. Because I thought they were going to keep Abyssal's passive and this one. So you would have had 24% damage increase on a character who's CC'd. But they took Abyssal out. So I don't know how I feel about this one, but let's see. Even Shroud. Yo, boring. You don't like it, you can leave, bitch. Even Shroud. I thought it was called Ever Shroud. I'm so stupid. Even Shroud has all but eclipsed its sunnier counterpart, aka Locket. Ha. Oh, I just realized it's Lunari themed. I didn't even realize that. Do Fortnite patch notes? Fortnite doesn't release patch notes. I used to. I would love to do Fortnite patch notes, but they don't do it. So we're bringing in line with other support mythics. These changes also apply to its Ornn Masterwork Equinox, as it always does. So instead of 12% bonus damage, you give them 9% for 4 seconds. They're double whammying this item. They're taking off 4%, which in this case is 12, a third of its effectiveness. If you leave, you'll have no gear. Yeah, but you being here doesn't really change anything. I want you to be here because you want to be here, not because you're forced to be here. League patch notes are a waste of time. Yeah, but I like doing them. Delete the game? Hell no. So yeah, they're nerfing it by 1/3, I think, right? 4, 8, 12. They're nerfing it by... Oh, wait, no. They're nerfing it by 3. What am I saying? So they're nerfing it by 25%, which is still pretty significant. And they're lowering the time from 5 to 4 seconds, which is 20%. This is crazy. I mean, I still think the item is probably decent, but that's a lot of nerfing. But honestly, with all the other stuff you could get damage increases for, I mean, maybe it'll even out, but whatever. This isn't too bad. But we'll see. I'm not a support player, and especially not a tank support player, so I'll probably never use this. Frostfire. Now that the new Frostfire does damage, I don't know if it's gonna overcompete or undercompete with the other items. Typically, the way I saw it before was Sunfire's Cape was the damage tank item, as much as a tank item could do damage. It was the damage tank item. Bruh. Oh, Arcane was good, but League is good too. Sometimes. But yeah, Sunfire was the damage tank item. Chemtech was the engage tank item. Frostfire was the utility tank item, which kind of bled into Chemtech a little bit, but whatever. But now Frostfire also does damage, so where's its stack against Sunfire's? I guess they'll talk about that, hopefully. Frostfire Golem is the punch above the other tank mythics, offering a little bit of everything at a relatively low cost. We're bringing down its damage, which was a bit too high compared to Sunfire. Okay, well, they answered it there. Including the health scaling. And as always, they apply it to Ornn Masterwork. So they nerfed it by a decent amount early. Not bad. Ranged frost field damage 6 to 42. Wow, if you're ranged, you don't want to use this shit at all. That's crazy. But I mean, it's not bad. I still think it'll be okay, kind of. We'll see. I think it's pretty good though. I think the fact that it does damage and slows is really good, especially for people who once they get on you, they want to stay on you. This isn't bad. So, anyway, moving on to Conqueror. What do I think Conqueror? I think because they nerfed the... I'm not removing this game from the stream. No. Because they nerfed the duration on Conqueror, and I think they nerfed the damages as well, right? A lot of people who used it before just don't use it. So, I don't know if that's good. But honestly, I haven't played enough to see. I know for sure you don't use it on Draven anymore, and that was the big, like, shock to me. Like, wow, it's not good on Draven anymore. Or any range for that matter, but let's see. The nerf to Conqueror's duration in 11.21 was a little too restrictive. Exactly what I said! We're partially reverting the nerf and boosting its damage to make it comparable to other keystones like Grasp of the Undying, which is a tank keystone, by the way. And Lethal. Lethal is really good. They're going to nerf Lethal, and I'm going to be so sad when they do, which is this patch. I'm going to be sad in a little bit, as if I wasn't sad enough already. But adaptive force per stack, 2 to 4.5 from 4. This means nothing. You're not doing it for the damage. The biggest buff they could have gave to it was giving its duration back. I just want to see what it is for ranged at this point. Who cares? This game is trash. Well, if you don't care, why are you staying and complaining? Glacial Augment. What do I think? Glacial. I think the new Glacial's a really good keystone for tank supports now. I think if you want to help your team, but don't want to use the stupid shielding one where you have to be next to them, this is the best for an engaged support that has to, like, go in. Obviously not Blitzcrank, because, you know, he brings them to you. But, yeah, I think, honestly, this is one of the best support runes for an engaged support. Excuse me, because I'm not trash. I don't know. I disagree, but yeah. So aside from that, it's probably gonna get nerfed because it's too good. Everything that Riot does is too good when it's new. So let's see, or most things at least. So the slow amount is going down. Oh, that's fine. Who cares? We're nerfing it in a way that shouldn't affect its other users. If they're only doing the slow, that's fine. The biggest part is the damage, too. As long as they don't put the slow below 30, though, I think this is fine. This is good. So anyway, lethal tempo. Oh my god, please. You gave ADCs only one thing. I like... This is what pisses me off, right? This is what fucking pisses me off about League. The whole community knows ADCs suck. ADCs know ADCs suck. Everyone knows ADCs suck. So for this new season, they do nothing to ADs except give us one good rune that was ours already. And now what happens? Oh my god, Vishal, what did you put in my chat? What the hell even is that? Is that an Among Us? Oh my god. Yeah, enough with that. Anyway, they give us one good rune, and now everyone else is going to take it and abuse it, so now it's going to get nerfed for ADs. Oh my god, it is an Among Us thing. Oh my lord, I don't want to have to look at that. Yeah, if you keep posting this shit, I'm going to have to turn off the overlay, and then I can't see chat. But that's up to you. Anyway, lethal tempo is a little too strong for some melee champions. Of course it is. It's also failing to fulfill its attack speed fantasy for ranged users. Yeah, that's pretty true. I really only used it for the range increase. I didn't really feel the attack speed increase. So we're shifting some of the power from its bonus attack range for them. Ugh. So melee attack speed is going down from 90 to 78, which is pretty good. It was a little ridiculous early how much you got from this shit. And then ranged per user is going from 5 to 7, which ends out to 30 to 42. Not bad, but I mean, come on. The old lethal gave us 110 and broke the cap, which it still breaks the cap. But it gave us 110 before. Now it gives us 42. I don't think the 75 range is that much worth it. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not what it was. But damn, I'm sad they took away 25 range, man. That sucks. I mean, it's still going to be good on the people it was good on, but it's going to be better for quicker engagements. It's not bad. I mean, I'm a little upset. I really like the bonus range, but whatever. Predator. This thing has been ridiculous. I've heard. I haven't seen. I've heard it's been ridiculous, and everyone's been using it. So what are they doing? They're nerfing it. Let's be honest. Maximum move speed 60 to 45. That's fine. Ramp up time 1 to 1.5 seconds. That's fine. So hopefully not a lot of people use this. But anyway. Dragons. So, I honestly have no clue what they're doing. I think overall, honestly, Hextech Soul is one of the weakest souls. Right next to Wind Dragon. Wind Dragon is very situational depending on who you get it on. But I feel like Hextech, while it's always on and it benefits your whole team very often, I feel like it's like almost ignorable and like kind of shitty. It doesn't feel as powerful as a soul should be. I love iced tea. Anyway, what are they doing? The temporarily doubled selection rates of Chemtech and Hextech Rift terrains have been removed. All Dragon terrains have returned to their normal selection rates, which I hope is equal, but we don't know. The standard Chemtech buff is noticeably weak, while conversely the Chemtech Soul is too strong. I would agree. We're also adding... Who put the... That was you, Vishal. Come on. We're also adding a visual helper so you can identify Chemtech zombies better. Yeah, honestly, that's important too, because I didn't know when they came back, if it was from GA or what. So, I guess they need to put more green smoke on them or whatever. But anyway, Chemtech Drake buff. Grants up to 6% bonus damage per stack. All else changed. That's not really still that good, but whatever. Chemtech Soul. Champions briefly revive for a second life for 4 seconds. Oh, so it's actually capped how much time you have and deal 40% less damage. Huh. I actually didn't know it had a time on it. Okay, so it's not that much stronger. And you do less damage in it, so it's really kind of like worse sound passive, but whatever. Champions revived by the soul now have a zombie state indicator. That's pretty good. Hextech Drake. Let's see what they say here. On the contrary, while Hextech Dragon Soul seems to be in a reasonable place, they're lying. The standard Hextech Drake could use a boost. So 6 ability haste and 6% attack speed. Wiener buffs. I mean, I would have preferred to see this buffed more, but whatever. Ultimate spellbook. Oh, they're adding new ults? Holy shit. And then they removed Janna and Rel. Wow. Attack smite. It has no cooldown. The spellbook now has some objective bounties too. Oh, wow. ARAM balances. Melee champions have been struggling in ARAM. No fucking duh. 2 buffs of independent champions but just to balance accordingly. What? Melee champions basically have to deal 20% bonus damage against siege and super minions. Okay. So they're just doing damage to minions more. Okay. AP scaling melee champions deal 10% bonus damage to structures. Okay. I'm not reading all this bullshit. And then bug fixes. New health bar VFX. When shields go on edge. Okay, that's good. Happy Anniversary. Dynasty Ari Splasher has been updated. Nice. Varus VFX update. Good. SFX update for base Caitlyn and stuff like that. Okay, pretty good. Varus's VFX update actually look really good too. And then, oh my god, there's so many bugs. And then the upcoming skins. So let's talk about the skins. I think they took something that I thought would forever remain ass. Debonair. Because I have Debonair Ezreal and that shit's ass. Most of the Debonair skins before this introduction were ass. But these skins are ridiculously good. Brand, really good. Draven, pretty decent. Leona, okay. LeBlanc and Malzahar, pretty good. Malzahar was the kind of random out of left field one, but whatever. And Debonair Zed, the other legendary, pretty good. I think Galaxy Slayer is better, but this isn't bad. It's pretty good as well, and I like how they tied in Crime City Nightmare. It's really cool how they're like tying in certain skin lines. And he has a JoJo's reference. I mean, for that alone, come on, this skin's great. But yeah, overall, really good. Really good skins. I just wish there were some for some people that, you know, didn't always get skins. LeBlanc always gets a skin. Yi has too many. Brand has too many. Leona has enough. Zed, come on. Give it to fucking Kai'Sa, you fucks. But anyway, overall, I mean, pretty decent patch. Pretty whatever patch. Honestly, yeah, I mean, it's on the weaker side. I don't like how they, quote-unquote, adjusted lethal, but, I mean, it's whatever. What did we trade? 25 range for, like, what, 12% attack speed? I don't know if that's worth. But I guess we'll see. I mean, overall, I'd give this patch, like, a 6 out of 10. I want to see the fucking Dragon Souls be more impactful for the Hextech. Like, honestly. Overall, though, I mean, I'll bump it up to a 6.5 because they did some good stuff with Samira and Twitch and stuff, and Kayle. Yeah, I'd say 6.5. I mean, it's a pretty boring patch, but that's about it. I'll leave it here. So, how long did we go? 33 minutes? Kind of shorter than we usually go, but yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have much more time. I mean, this could have gone on for way longer if I talked more, but yeah, we'll just leave it here. 6.5 out of 10 Mark Merrills. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go be sad and question a lot of things in my life and hopefully have some fun. I'm out of here.